The United States has been placed on a watch list by CIVICU, which is a global alliance organization dedicated to monitoring civil action and civil rights in different countries. It's over 150 countries are in this alliance, almost 10,000 members, and they have put the United States of America under the Trump administration on this watch list because of all of the terrible human rights issues going on under the Trump administration. This cannot be illustrated any better than by the arrest of Mahoud Khalil, who was a leader of the protest at Columbia University, the pro-Palestinian protest. He has a green card, so that means he is legally in the United States. He was arrested and taken into custody from New York City. Last we heard, he was in Louisiana, and there has been no contact, not any information given other than Marco Rubio has said all pro-Hamas people in the United States will be arrested and deported. Well, let's talk about that. Because you are pro-Palestinian does not make you a supporter of Hamas. Those are two different things. And you know how I know this is bad? I know this is bad because one of the most despicable MAGA right-wing influencers, Ann Coulter, she has even said, let's put this up, there's almost no one I don't want to deport, but unless they've committed a crime, isn't it a violation of the First Amendment? So we have Ann Coulter, who is despicable. Even she acknowledges that this is a denial of due process and the rights of Americans. And the fact that they are rounding up people that are against what the Trump administration wants to do. I mean, it's starting with the people that protest on behalf of Palestine. It's going to come where it's American citizens, because as we all know, Trump did in his last administration, he wanted to shoot people in the kneecaps because they were protesting on behalf of Black Lives Matter. So moving on, we have a federal judge that has said, you cannot deport this person, and has ordered that the administration and the attorneys for Khalil appear in court today at 5 p.m. Now, this will be interesting because this is, again, illegal acts by the Trump administration. Also, I don't want to bore you with all the legal details, but a federal judge has ordered that the executive order regarding DEI funding, that is enjoined. They have to continue to behave as the agency was intended to spend their money and not in accordance with the court order, and said that the unprecedented power and lack of transparency by DOJ. So we had the DOJ ruling, we had the DEI ruling, and we had the Khalil ruling all yesterday. And what I have to say to that is so much winning in the Trump administration. It's just win after win after win. But when you commit illegal acts with your government authority, at least the judiciary is standing up. So moving on to other things. So we now have Republicans turning on Trump. I mean, few, far between, but we have Representative Bacon from Nebraska, which you cannot be more MAGAville than Nebraska, saying straight up the Trump administration is running into the arms of Putin. Let's hear him.
So you believe, it sounds like, that the Trump administration is just being too conciliatory towards Russia right now and sort of walking away from its legacy of being the leader of the free world?
We are the leader of the free world, but right now, many countries are questioning, are we still the leader of the free world? We may be the most powerful country in the world. We were the leader of the free world, but it appears to many leaders and people all over, to include Republicans in Nebraska, that this administration is walking away from that legacy that was built by Ike Eisenhower and all these presidents, and really a capstone of Ronald Reagan, peace through strength, and building these close alliances. And we are undermining that legacy right now. I'm not interested in a foreign policy that is totally built on realism or transactionalism, where it's just, what do we have in it for us? I believe in having a foreign policy that's a mix of realism, protecting our country, and idealism, where we're the leaders standing for freedom, free markets, rule of law. And we gotta be clear-eyed, but also have moral clarity. Putin invaded Ukraine. He's murdered all of us political opponents. He tried to kill a previous Ukrainian prime minister. He's bombing cities. He's ramped up the bombing of cities since President Trump has been harsh towards President Zelensky. We got to see this. We're playing into the hands of Putin, and I think it's devastating for our national security and our foreign affairs for the years to come. So I'm very concerned.
Okay, it cannot be overstated how the Trump administration, starting with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, are going straight in. I mean, they are repeating propaganda points from Russia in the United States. Marco Rubio, point by point, saying what Putin wants. The way Zelensky was treated in the Oval Office by Trump and Vance. Elon Musk saying Twitter was hacked by possibly Ukraine. That's bullshit. Here's the deal. They want an oligarchy, a kleptocracy, just like Russia. The billionaires want it. Elon Musk wants it. Trump, I think he wants it. But what his biggest problem is Elon Musk owns him. And so now Elon Musk's stock's crashing. The stock market's crashing. The oligarchy's losing hundreds of billions of dollars because of Donald Trump's policies. And this is what Russia wants. This is Putin getting exactly what he wants. The United States leaving NATO and turning away from their allies, and our allies not sharing intelligence with the United States. How does that sit with the national security, foreign policy Republicans? It is unbelievable to me that these are the same people that will sit and say, we back our military, we back the blue. They back Trump, who is Putin's playboy. So this is all really depressing. And Jennifer talked about earlier how Elon Musk, who is the biggest loser, second only to Donald Trump, is losing his ass on all of these different businesses, the government. Well, he said on Fox last night, he wants to cut Social Security and Medicaid. The bright spot in all of this, there is a bright spot, and his name is Bernie Sanders. And let's hear from Senator Sanders.
If you ask me, I think this is a prelude not only to cutting benefits, but to privatizing Social Security itself. I think that's in the back of their mind. If you make the system dysfunctional, why would anybody want to support it? And that's consistent with what Trump said in his State of the Union address. Oh, there are millions of people, thousands of people, 200 years old and 150 years old. What is all of that about? It happens to be a lie. It's not true. 99% of the benefits go to people, more than that go to people who have paid into them. So why do you lie so much about Social Security? Why do you make it look like it's a broken, dysfunctional system? The reason is to get people to lose faith in the system, and then you can give it over to Wall Street. That's my view.
Bernie Sanders spits facts, and Bernie Sanders and AOC are now touring around the country, going to Republican town halls to discuss the things that the Republicans won't. But just a quick walk down memory lane. Trump, he said, the elections are rigged. You can't trust the elections. He undermined our system of elections. The Justice Department, Biden, witch hunts, the judiciary is nothing but undermined and doubted. And so that is what Trump does. He undermines, he makes people lose trust. He's done it in the election. He's done it in the judiciary. Now he's looking to do it with all these government agencies, which Bernie Sanders accurately points out. Everything he said at his State of the Union pretty much was a lie, particularly about Social Security. All of the products and data that Elon Musk has put out about the cuts he's been making are lies. So you have to be extremely focused on where you get your news. And thank you for joining us, and we'll be back with more news later.